where he's drawn, and he probably doesn't have bundles in hand of his mark.
Just there's a few well-handicapped horses, aren't there? That's the question if they're on a going day.
Wrestling Revenue is one of those well-handicapped ones, isn't he? But I suppose you're guessing as to whether he will be on a going day. He's been strong in the market at big prices earlier in the day. He's on the slide a little bit closer to the off, but I think he had kind of got artificially short to an extent. He hasn't really been firing, has he?
No, he's a two-time winner from 23 starts overall. Both those wins came back in 2024 when trained by Tony Carroll, and he won at Brighton over 5.5 furlongs twice. That was on good ground and good to firm ground. The latter came off a mark of 65. Obviously now dropped down to a mark of 57. But like you said, recent form this season, the best run did come here. That was sort of back in April, so that would be a positive. But the last couple of runs has failed to beat a rival, so that would just be the question mark. But the return to this venue, they'll be hoping to bring out a bit more of improvement than what we've seen recently from him.
Yeah, he was off a £7 higher mark when he was third here behind One More Dream earlier on in the season. He's got an inside draw in stall 2. Without Floor, she's right round the inside in stall 1 under Joanna Mason for Tida Jackson. Back-to-back wins at Beverley earlier on in the season, including on slowish ground, has form on a really testing surface in the past, but didn't quite run his race last time out for whatever reason.
Yeah, she's a 3-time winner from 30 starts overall. And like you said, back-to-back wins at Beverley back in July. The last off 59, so just £1 higher today. 2 starts since at Redcar, was 4th on the penultimate run, but was only 7th. That was 12 days ago when last seen. So another one that probably just needs to bounce back from a lesser effort last time.
Yeah, I thought she was a shade overpriced. I also thought Lucius Aurelius had a bit of a chance. Had his excuses really last time out.
Yeah, he's a horse that's 0 from 11 overall, but I don't think it's for any particular reason that he hasn't got his head in front yet. He just seems to sort of bump into them. A third at Catterick 2 starts ago, down the field at Ayr last time, but was drawn on the wrong side that day. He's eased in grade today with a £5 claimer, taking that, £5 off would be a positive. And he's been second 3 times and third once from 6 starts this season, so he certainly deserves to get his head in front, and hopefully it won't be too long before he does so.
Wrestling Revenue going forward under Andrew Mullen. You could see Solar Barricks in the background for Brian Ellison and Ben Robinson. Wasn't beaten that far, was he, at Donny last time out? He did win at that track earlier on in the season. He's on the same markers for that win.
Yeah, that was over the 5 furlongs. It did come on quick ground, so obviously slower conditions today, and well beaten on a slower surface last time.
Last one's in.
They're off, racing over 5 furlongs for the Constant Security Services Handicap Stakes. Woodhay Whisper just a little bit slow to go. Good start up front by Top Time, also breaking well. A little bit deeper out is Hyper Focus. Tucked in behind them, Lucius Aurelius with a good sit. So too Without Floor to the inside of Digital, and very deep on the track, Canaria Sun is next in the field. Looking behind those towards the back of the pack, Wrestling Revenue sitting back with Woodhay Whisper. Solid Bond is well back. So too at this stage is Brazen Rascal. Another one towards the back is Solar Birridge. It's Without Floor who leads them as they begin the turn towards the final 2 furlongs. Without Floor, Joanna Mason, the pale blue and yellow jacket, leads up by about a length. Giving chase in second is Digital in the noseband. Wrestling Revenue, green jacket, white cap, trying to pick up behind the pace. They're followed by Lucius Aurelius, trying to stay on down the centre, the green sleeves and cap. But inside the final furlong they go now. Without Floor to the far side, tackled by Wrestling Revenue towards the near side, who's closing inside the final half. Without Floor by about a half length. Wrestling Revenue still coming towards the near side. They race up towards the line, and Wrestling Revenue got up to score to Without Floor. Behind those, Woodhay Whisper was next in the field, closely followed by Lucius Aurelius, and out deep of those was Brazen Rascal.
Well, he was very strong in the market, and he's been strong to the line to just get the better of Without Floor. Front 2 well clear, and they raced right round the inside rail through the early part of that contest, which I think is going to end up being significant this afternoon. And Wrestling Revenue, who was well backed, just wears them down to get up late on. And the front 2 miles clear of the rest, Amy.
Yeah, like the first 2 drawn 1 and 2, aren't they? The winner from stall 2, the second from stall 1. So it just shows, the ground being on the slow side, they're not coming towards this side. It's not the place to be, but yeah, like you said, the money was down for this horse, £8 below the previous winning mark. Had failed to beat a rival the last couple of runs, but the best run so far this season did come here. So the return to this track has brought out the best in him once again, and he said the money was down. He was well handicapped, and he's cashed in this afternoon. I mean, Without Floors ran a solid race, hasn't eventually back in second, and like you said, they're miles clear of the rest.
Yeah, they were both in the ideal position throughout, and the handicapper might end up getting carried away given how far they pulled clear, and they were in the right spots. Keep an eye on anything that ran well with a wider trip. I think they were disadvantaged, that group that raced more out into the centre, down the back side of the course. But yeah, Wrestling Revenue well backed, wins at 4-1.